So we're going to use the number line to help us subtract integers. The first question is -3 minus 4. So what we do is we start at this number right here, which is -3, right there, and we subtract 4. So every time you subtract, you're going to move to the left. So I'm going to subtract 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I end up at -7. Let's try that again. We're going to start with -2. So I'm going to start on my number line right here, and I'm going to add 5. So if I'm adding 5, I'm going in this direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to end up at 3. So I'm going to go through several more examples. What I would encourage you to do is to press pause throughout the lesson and give some of the questions a try yourselves before I move on. So here we go. We've got 3 numbers we're going to deal with. We're going to start at the number +5. So right here, and we're going to go subtract 7. So we're going to the left 7 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's going to be -2, and then we still have to subtract 2. So that means I'm right here now, and I'm going to go to the left again because I'm subtracting 2. So 1, 2, which means I'll end up at -4. So I've really done that in 2 separate steps. One more try. We're going to start at -3 right here, and we're going to add 6. So we're going to go to the right 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means I'm going to end up at 3. So this first step means I end up at +3, and I still have to subtract 1. So when I subtract 1, I'm going to be moving in the opposite direction. So I at 3, and I'm going to go to the left 1, which means this is equal to 2. And I think most of you would know that 3 minus 1 is 2. Now it's your turn to give it a try. Press pause while you work on the question before you press play again to check your solution. So let's see how you did. We start at -5 right here, and we're going to go subtract 4, so to the left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to go to the add 1, which means back to the right 1, so back this way, which means we'll end up at -8. Next one, we start at 2, +2, go to the left 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've done this bit, and then we're going to go -3, which means again to the left 3. 1, 2, 3. So this equals -7. Now we're going to keep going here, but as I said, I would suggest you press pause so that you can slow down and write down your answers and try some for yourself as the lessons proceed. So here, notice these questions are a little bit different because we've got this funny combination here of a plus and a minus next to each other. So every time you see a positive and a negative together, then you can replace that with a negative. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. It's negative for 3. These 2 combinations is going to become a -2 minus 4. So I'm making something that's complicated into something more simple. And now I'm going to use the number line to answer the question. So I'm going to start at -3. Whoops, that was not right there. I put +3. -3. And I'm going to subtract 2. So that means I'm going to go to the left 2. And then I'm going to subtract 4, so I'm going to keep going to the left 4. One more there. There we go. So that means I end up with -9. So when we have a positive and a negative together like that, right next to each other, it will become a negative. Now notice here, we've got 2 negatives together, that will become a positive. So anytime you have 2 signs that are different, like these were different, it'll be a negative. If you have 2 signs that are the same, it'll be a positive. So -2 plus 4 plus 1. So notice I'm making something more complicated into something simple. And here we go, we're going to use our number line. So starting at -2, I'm going to add 4, so I'm going to go to the right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to add 1, so I'm going to go to the right again, one more. So I'll end up at 3. It's your turn to give this question a try. Press pause while you work on the question before you hit play again to see how you did. So we're going to start at -4 right here, and notice that there's these combinations of signs next to each other. So a negative and a negative together is going to be a positive, so I'm going to rewrite this before I work on the number line. -4, this is going to be a +3. This combination, there are two different signs, so that's going to be -2. So now I've got an easier question to work with. So I start at -4 right here, and I'm going to add 3. So I'm going to go to the right 3, and then I'm going to subtract 2. So I'm going to go back 2. Maybe I'll do that in orange. Back 2, 1, 2. So that means I'm going to end up at -3.